Hey everyone, I'm Corey Chambers, founder of Entar Real Estate and Investment Technologies. We're at a secret technology event in Silicon Valley where some of these people are plotting to take over the world. But it's top secret. We're not telling anybody about this. It's just between you and me. You will see people here. They are secret agents of Silicon Valley. They are programming computers to take over the world. You will see robots. These robots are programmed to aid in this takeover of Silicon Valley and then the entire world. We're letting you in on this never before mentioned event. Okay, this looks like an old-fashioned telephone with female legs, but it's actually a very high-tech device used by technological geeks to take over the world without you ever noticing. Okay, at this event, we see vendors of technology that appear to be just like any other tech vendors. However, these ones are actually part of the plot to take over Silicon Valley, which already controls the world. Therefore, when you take over Silicon Valley, you de facto take over the world. This appears to be an ordinary self-serve coffee machine, but it's actually a part of the technology, the underground technology for world domination. In fact, if you press this button right here, you would think it's going to serve a type of coffee with a particular flavor, like mocha, cappuccino, vanilla, but it's not. That's the one that actually activates this underground Silicon Valley organization activation. It's right there. So this is not just technology. This is technology and beer. I wonder if they are cold. Yeah, these are actually chilled. That's how you know you're in the most high-tech place on earth, if the beers are actually chilled. Because if you had low-tech, the beers would not be chilled.
If I could build a robot that would do all my chores, then I could finally focus.
Extended reality is a catch-all for augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. And so extended reality is about trying to go beyond the real world into digital spaces. And then that will then pivot into the digital economy. And so we believe that the future is going to be a mixed, kind of like what you do in the real world and what you do in the digital world. And together, it's going to be some pretty awesome stuff. The researcher in me would definitely encourage two things, I think. One is to be more humanities oriented, not just technology oriented, because I believe that AI needs to be much more interactive with people, real people. So digital humanities would be one area. The other sense that I would encourage is to try and figure out how AI can not just be a cost or pushing the envelopes of what is possible now, but really thinking of it as a tool to help real people. And so that reinforces my first point. It's like Entar, right? In real estate that are offline or commercial residential spaces. This is where I think talks about the metaverse actually are really quite interesting, because now you're talking about how to take real world spaces and then upgrade them into something that's more experiential, that will draw people, and then using those real spaces as a way to help people reach out to different types of realities, not just where they live or where they work, but also then to be able to, let's say, travel to China or to other places in the world. In addition, though, travel can be a different timeline. So it can be traveling back in time, like in the case of our content, we are talking about historic content. Or you can also think of it in a maybe Blade Runner or type of futuristic Star Wars concept where you're going forward in time. But the whole point is that spaces allow us to be able to not only get in touch with our world and environment around us, but also can be time. I think really what we're looking for are partners who have similar or same type of vision for trying to be immersive storytellers so that we can accelerate the entire process of, call it brand engagement or story engagement, so that people, users, can experience AI using XR as a way of interacting with the AI, and then finding investors or people who have the same vision of using this area or this cross-section to try and touch people's lives, change people's lives.
So if you've got something you want to show off or talk about, that's the opportunity.
If you've been following my journey, you know Entar started as a traditional real estate firm, helping folks buy and sell properties in Los Angeles and beyond, lofts, condos, you name it. But today I'm here to talk about something explosive, Operation Entar Explosion. That's what I call my mission, to supercharge Entar with cutting-edge AI, tech, and finance, transforming us from an old-fashioned real estate company into a powerhouse AI tech firm with core strengths in real estate, technology, finance, and marketing. And where better to ignite that explosion than at the Bots and Beer tech event at Circuit Launch's brand new location in Mountain View, the Silicon Valley. Circuit Launch has always been a hub for makers, but their newer spot at 599 Fairchild Drive is next level. It's a sprawling co-working space designed for entrepreneurs in mechatronics, robotics, and hardware electronics. Think private desks, dedicated offices, prototyping labs, and even short-run manufacturing facilities, all under one roof. As an Air Force veteran who once supervised satellite telemetry systems at the nearby Space Test Center, walking into a place like this felt like coming home. The energy was electric. Walls lined with tools, benches cluttered with circuit boards, and the faint hum of drones testing in the background. Bots and Beer, hosted by Silicon Valley Robotics and Circuit Launch. It's back and bigger than ever.
So it's calibration for
full range of motion. We don't want to switch on.
Got it.
Moving pan to the right just brings
Now in this Mountain View digs they call Circuit Launch 2.0.
And just speech to robotic. That's my main project. That's what I'm going to be working on.
Picture this, a casual networking bash where tech enthusiasts, founders, and innovators gather over craft beers or non-alcoholic beverages, if that's your vibe, to show off robot demos, pitch ideas, and forge connections.
Mainly proficient in Java, Python, C++. That was
Ubuntu,
yeah. Took some time to work with, but it was really useful. This demo is just a script from Hugging Face. My demo is more about you say something, speech, and that speech is interpreted and converted into raw to robot commands.
So of course one of the best things about anything in Silicon Valley is it tends to be well funded. That means free pizza, free soda, and free beers.
Once you get that point cloud, you use a grasp pose detector, and what that grasp pose detector does is it basically gives you all the possible geometric ways to grip an object. We then pass all those ways into a language model, so it sort of mimics human thought. The grasp coordinates are done by, it was an MIT project from, I don't think it was MIT, it was a project from a few years ago called FGC GraspNet that puts these grasp poses. So yeah, we generate these point clouds from a single image, and then we get these grasp poses, and given these grasp poses, we use an LLM and pass in a structured input of these grasp poses to decide which one is best, given the previous VLM inference about the odds.
This Christmas, we'll see the robots take over. Solar tech is the leading way of accessing physical intelligence. Using our app and using our Solo Hub, you can run fine-tuned models. We are supported by Meta. We're part of the NVIDIA Inception program.
I created synthetic data sets for robotics. Start with one teleoperated video, Then you pull in the Cosmos Transfer 1 model from NVIDIA and use that to obtain synthetic videos. And using that, you basically generate a synthetic video using these different modalities. While generating motor positions is not exactly so simple because it's never been done before for our synthetic video frames. And so under Dream dataset, which is what you need to train the model, which is composed of your CSV file, URDF, and JSON files, you use that model and on your synthetic video frames for inference, and then you get per frame motor position generation.
It's a browser-based tool you can use to create a digital twin of your manufacturing environment. You can program the automation using these skill blocks, which could be AI capabilities, simulate on the cloud, deploy on the edge.
He looks around at you, and the idea with it is to put it into coffee shops. So instead of waiting in a long line for someone to make the coffee and take the order, you just walk up to him. Americano coffee, please.
Americano coffee order. It's on its way.
Fully industrial scale Haas CNC, smaller private CNC. There's a small lathe, but there will be a larger lathe, a Tormark, a Bridgeport mill, rows of tables and component bins, and do your assembly for 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Or you can do your calibration and testing in the open space, a whole side of the building as their offices, and they were building their robots in the facility. And each of those robots drove out and around and would drive around the building. We're trying to help you through every stage. We have people here who can consult and advise on manufacturing, and we can help you. Usually people build their first couple of hundred units really hands-on before you're outsourcing to other manufacturers. You need to tweak and change. So we're there for your journey all the way through your early stage.
If you're in real estate, tech, or finance, join the explosion. Check out entar.com for more. Own tomorrow today. Thanks for watching. Let's make the future happen.